Uh, Today we are discussing the second lab cycle. That is the questions based on arrays. Okay, that is we have already seen these programs, but again I am discussing all these questions in this video. Okay, so the first question is read n integers, store them in an array, and find their sum and average. Okay, there is first we have to declare a one-dimensional array of some maximum size because here we are saying we have to read n integers. So during each execution, we have to read how many numbers are going to store in this array. So this n is a variable. Since this n is a variable, this number of elements that is going to store in the array may vary during each execution. That's why we have to declare an array of maximum size. Okay, so let's see uh, the program here. That is the question is, what is the question? Read n integers, read n integers into an array and find the sum and average. Okay, this is the question. So here we are going to, there is the program, we are going to write the program, and the program contains only one function, that is the main function. Okay, so in order to read n integers into an array, first thing we have to do is declare an array of some maximum size. That is array type is, the type of the array is integer. So int ARR, I'm giving the name as ARR and giving the size as 20. So during each execution, we have to read the value of n, how many elements are there in the array. So this n should be less than or equal to 20 for each execution. Okay. Then printf how many elements are there in the array. Okay. Enough. We are going to read the number of elements. That is percentage. That is an integer. Ampersand n. Okay. That is we have to declare n. What is the type? Int n. Here. Then read these elements. We know how to read the elements into an array. That is for I is equal to 0. That is the index starts from 0 and last index is less than, that is last index is n minus 1, that is always less than n, I less than n, I plus plus, printf enter array of, okay, we are reading to array of percentage d, that is to uh, display the index percentage d, enter array of percentage d. Then what is percentage d? That is we have to display I there, the value of I there. Then scanf element is going to read. We are going to read array of the element to array of I. Okay. So there is also integer percentage d comma ampersand array of I. Here we are reading the elements to the array. Then what we have to do? That is we have to print the sum and average. Yes. Either we can find the sum here itself or we can find the sum in a separate loop. Okay. As a first question in arrays, we can do there is the computation of sum and average in another loop. Okay. We are computing the sum in the loop and average is computed outside the loop. That is after getting the final sum, we will be computing the average. Clear? So here we have the loop index variable I. Yes, we can use the same I. copy, for I is equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus, then sum is equal to sum plus array of I. Okay, so here we have a variable for storing the sum. So usually we initialize sum as 0. Okay, during each iteration, the current value of array, that is array index, that is the particular value of array element is added to sum. Okay, so sum is equal to sum plus array of I. Then here we are computing the average. So average is equal to sum divided by, how many elements are there? N elements are there. Okay, sum divided by n. Yeah. Then here, what will be the type of average? It will be float. Right. Float average. Yes. So here, then here we are going to convert. This is called explicit conversion. That is type conversion. Okay. Because here we are going to convert the integer sum into float value. Then a float value divided by an integer value, the result will be float. Okay, type conversion. So you have to get the result in average. Or okay, that is, suppose we are doing like this, sum divided by n, then we can printf sum is equal to percentage d sum, printf average is equal to percentage f average. Okay, you can see the results. Then we can change the uh, change to change these statements to do type conversion. Okay, yeah. How many elements are there in the array? We can give it as 5. Then array of 0, we have to give value for array of 0, 12. Yeah, 12. Then 23. Now it is 35. 5. Now 40. 6. 46. 3. 49. The sum is 49. See, 49 divided by 5. It will be 5.8, right? But the average, it is printed as 9.0000. Here, what it is doing is, this expression is evaluated as integer. Okay, sum divided by n, because both the operands are integers. That's why the result will be in integer. So sum divided by n, that is 49 divided by 5, it is getting only the integer portion. That is, this is an arithmetic integer expression. This is an integer expression because both the operands are integers. So the result is 49 divided by 5. It is taking only the integer part. Okay, 9.8, but it is taking only the integer part. And it is assigned to a float variable average. So it has taken only the integer portion, that is 9, as the result of this expression, and the result of this expression is assigned to a float variable. That's why 9.00000. Okay, here we can convert one of the expression to float using explicit type conversion. Now this sum will be in float. So actually sum is integer and we are converting to float. In this expression, we are converting the numerator to floating point type. So it will be a floating point arithmetic. Okay, floating point number divided by integer number. So the result will be in floating point. See the difference. So what are the numbers here? There is 12, 23, 5, 6, 3. Okay, yeah, can give the same numbers. 5 elements are there: 12, 23, 5, 6, 3. Okay. Yeah, see. Now the sum is 49 and the average is 9.80000. Okay. So this is called explicit type conversion. Explicit type conversion. So here we are converting sum divided by n. That is, the result is actually 9.8 and we are converting to a floating point type. Okay. So the result, instead of taking the integer portion, it is taking the complete value, that is 9.8. Okay. Yeah. So this is our first example. Then I will send you the algorithm and this program in separate PDF. Okay. Yeah. The next question is, let me copy this program to a Word file. Then see the next example. Read n integers and find the smallest among them. Read n integers and find the smallest among them. Okay. That is, you can modify the same program. Read n integers. That is, we have written C code to read an array of n elements. It is same. Okay. Read n integers and find the smallest among them. Copying this program. Read n integers into an array and find their sum and average. That is our question number 7. So the next question is, read n integers and find the smallest among them. That is question number 8. Okay. Question number 8. N integers and find the smallest among them. Okay. This is our question. Question number 8. So yeah, let me keep these three variables: array of 20, n and I, and I am removing these two. Then how many elements are there in the array? Same thing. There are n elements. So this loop reads n elements into array ARR. Okay. And after this array, after reading this array, I'm taking a variable smallest. That is int, because we are reading all integers. So the smallest is one among the array of elements. So it is also int. So I'm giving the variable name as small. And after reading the entire array, I am considering the first element as small. Small is equal to, then who is the first element in the array? It is array of 0. I'm taking the first element in the array as small. Clear? Then after assigning the first element as small, or after considering the first element as small, I'm checking whether there is any element smaller than this element from array index 1 to n minus 1. Okay, this we can do one by one. So array index I is equal to 1 to n minus 1. This loop will do I is equal to 1 to n minus 1. And I'm checking if small is greater, or we can consider the array element fi is less than small. It's the small already considered. If any array element is smaller than the element which is already considered as small. Okay. So then what we have to do? Then assign that element as small. Okay. Reassign that small to that particular element. Okay, small is equal to f. And if the element, that is, we are considering the element from 1 to n minus 1, and we are that is during the first iteration we are considering f1, and if f1 is less than small, we are resetting small as f1. Okay, then otherwise we are not doing anything, that is small will be the same, the first element. Clear? So small is equal to f5. Yeah, this is the only step needed here. Then finally, that is after all the iterations, the variable small will contain the smallest among all the elements in the array. Now we have to print smallest. Smallest in the array is equal to small. Okay. So then we can run this program. This is integer array, int array of 20, int n, int I, and int small. That is, we are declaring a variable small to store the smallest in the array. Clear? Yes. Running. Yeah, there is an error. It is ARRR. Okay, not A. ARR. The array name is ARR, but I given here it as A. That's why the error. A is undeclared. First, using this function. Okay. See, how many elements are there in the array? Here I am giving 6. Array of 0, that is 89. Then array of 1, 23. Array of 2, 45. 12. Now 4 elements. Next fifth element is 5, 86. Yeah. See, our program logic, there is, we have assigned the first element as small and varying the array index from 1 to 5. We are checking whether array of 1 is less than small. Yes. Now small is 89 and array of 1 is 823. So we have to change small to 23. Okay, it was 89, we are changing to 23. Now again, during the second iteration, that is I is equal to 2, array of 2 is 45, and now the small is 23. Okay, and we are checking whether array of 2 is less than 23 small. No, it is no. So small is still 23. And then third iteration, array of 3 and small. What is small here? 23. And array of 3 is 12. 12 is less than 23. Yes. So small is changed to 12. The next array of 4 is 5 and small is 12. Yes. Again, array 4 is less than small. That is small is changed to 5. Then during last iteration, 86 and 5. 86 is less than 5. No. So small is 5. Okay. Yeah. Smallest in the array is 5. Clear? Then I'm also copying this program. This is program number, question number 8. Read any integers and find the smallest among them. Let me give an outline. This is next question. Okay, next program. Program for question number 6. What is next ninth question? Read any integers, store them in an array, and search for an element in the array using linear search. There is a question is, read n integers, store them in an array, and search for an element in the array using linear search. Okay. Yes. Question. Read n integers into an array and search for an element in the array using linear search. Okay. This is the question number 9. This is question number 9. So read n integers into the array. Yes. These three variables we needed here. Array, n and I. Is there any doubt? No. Then we have to read one element to be searched. That is, read an element to be searched. So we can give the variable as int search item. We can read that element. That is printf. Enter the element to be searched. Okay. Enough. Which variable we can read? Percentage B ampersand search item. Okay. Yeah. That is, we have to search for the element search item in the array. Yes, we can start from the beginning of the array. That is, we can use the loop. For I is equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus, if array of I is equal to search item, equal to search item, then how we can break from a loop? We can use a break statement. Okay. If the item is found in any location, then we can break. Okay. Then here we can check whether we have break the loop before all the iterations. That is, if you have break the loop before all the iterations, then the element is found. Okay. So when this loop will terminate after all the iterations, if this loop performs all the iterations, then the value of I will be n. Okay. So I is equal to 0 and it checks it is less than n. Yeah. If it is yes, it will go inside the loop. Then the index variable I will be incremented to 1. Again, it will check whether 1 is less than n. If it is yes, it will go inside the loop to execute and it checks the condition. So during all the iterations, if the condition is false, it will never execute break. So when it terminates after all the iterations, the value of I will be equal to n. Okay. So here we are checking if I is equal to n, printf the search item, or we can display search item is not found in the list. Okay. That is, if I is equal to n, that is, if the loop terminates after all the iterations, then for 0 to n minus 1, the condition is true. Okay. For 0 to n minus 1, the condition I less than n will be true, and the condition array of I is equal to search item will be false. Okay. So break will be executed only if array of I is equal to search item. So break is never executed. So if the statement break is never executed, so finally the value of I will be n. Okay. That means the search item is not found in the list. Search item. Else, that is, if I is less than n, else printf the search item, or okay, here that is not needed. Percentage D is found in the list at index percentage D. Yeah, there is search item. First format specifier D search item, comma I. Okay. There is here we are reading an array of n elements and reading search item. Then from the beginning of the array, we are searching with each and every element in the array. Okay. And if the search item is equal to the array element, we are breaking there. Okay. So after exiting from the loop, we are checking whether the loop terminated after all the iterations or before all the iterations. Okay. Before all the iterations means the element was there. That's why if I is equal to n, the element is not found. And if I is less than n, the element is found at index I. Yeah, you can see the output. I'm giving 6. 89, 5, 23, 12, 45, 6. Yes. See, 89, 5, 23, 12, 45, 6. Then we can give the search item as give an item that is not in the list. Okay. An item that is not in the list. So I'm giving 90 as the search item. So it will check with first element, that is 89 equal to 90. No, then it is not executor break. 5 equal to 90. No. 23 equal to 90. No. 12 equal to 90. No. 45 equal to 90. No. Then 6 equal to 90. No. Then I will be incremented to 6. And it checks whether 6 less than 6 because n is 6. 6 less than 6. No. Then the loop condition I less than n is false. So it will exit from the loop. Okay. So while exiting, after all the iterations, the value of I will be equal to n. Okay. So here 90 is not found in the list. Yeah. I'm giving one more example. The same array, 6 elements, 89, 5, 6, 23, 12, 45. Then I'm giving the search item as 23. So it checks with 89. No. 5. No. 6. No. Then 23. Yes. Then when it is 23, that is array index is 3. Here. I is equal to 3 and array of 3 is equal to 23. Okay. Array of 3 is 23 and search item is 23. So it executes the break statement. Okay. So it exits from the loop. Then the value of I is 3. Yes. Sorry. 6, 89, 5, 6, 23, 12, and 45. Giving the yes. The search item is found at location at index 3. Clear. 23 is found in the list at index 3. Okay, clear. Yes, I'm also copying this program. This is question number 9. And today I'm explaining the one more question. That is question number 10. Read n integers, so store them in an array and sort the elements in the array using bubble sort algorithm. We have discussed bubble sort algorithm in our class and also discussed the program. But here I am again discussing the program only. Okay, clear? Yeah. Read n integers, store them in an array, and sort the elements in the array using bubble sort. Read n integers into the array and sort sort the elements using bubble sort. Okay, yes, we have to read this array of n elements. That is how many elements are there, n, and we are reading the array of n elements into a rr of I. This one we don't want. Then how many passes are there? There are n minus 1 passes, and we are going to number the passes as I 1 to n minus 1. So we can use I for pass number. I is equal to 1, I less than n, I plus plus. Okay, this is for pass, each pass. We are giving the pass number as I. Okay. Then during each pass, that is during first pass, we are comparing first two elements, next two elements, next two elements, etc., etc., etc. The last element, that is second last element compared with the last element. Okay. So we are considering two adjacent elements. That is, we can say aj and aj plus 1. And j from where to where? That is the first element. During the each comparison, we are considering the first element, that is left element. That is considered as a of j. So j varies from 0 to where? The for the last comparison, what will be j? J is equal to n minus 2, right? So aj is compared with, or n minus 2, a of n minus 2 is compared with f n minus 1. That is, n minus 1 is the index of last element. Okay. So n j less than n minus I. That is pass number. J plus plus. And here we are comparing aj and aj plus 1. A of j, that is not a, it is arr. Arr of j less than arr of j plus 1. We are comparing for whether the left one is less than the right one. If yes, we have to exchange left and right. So in order to exchange two elements, we have to take a third variable temp. Temp is equal to arr of j. Arr of j is equal to arr of j plus 1. Then arr of j plus 1 is equal to, yes, we have used a temporary variable. So here I is for pass number and j is for considering the, this is j element. Okay. Then in the temp, a temporary variable used here. Yes. Now we can print the array. That is printf. Sorted list is printf percent slash n arr of I. Percentage d arr of I. Here we are reading the elements. We are doing the sorting process here. This is the steps for sorting. Okay. We are reading the elements using this loop, reading the elements. Then it is asking how many elements are there in the array, and we are reading that n elements into the array using this loop. And sorting process, this one, that is the first loop. The outer loop is for number of passes, each pass, and this is for sorting. Okay, and the sorter list. We are printing the sorter list. Yes. How many elements are there in the array? We can give 6. 89, 5, 6, 23, 12, 45. Now, the sorted list is, yeah, sorry, it is in descending order. That is, we are checking whether uh, if ARR of J is greater than, that is, the left one is greater than right one, we have to exchange. Okay. Yeah. How many elements are there? That is, we can give the same elements: 6, 89, 6, 5, 23, 12, and 45. The list is 5, 6, 12, 23, 45, and 89. Okay. This is the program. Program number 10. Right. Yes. Let's see. Okay. So I'm stopping here. Then I'll be sharing these programs with you. So you have to write the algorithm for these things and submit by next Friday only. Okay.